as a little change of pace, let's do a little motorcycle Jeopardy. But first, we probably need to do some introductions. So for folks that don't know, my name's Drew Faulkner. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I run/host a podcast called Moto Adventure Unscripted. If I said what my favorite motorcycle was, I would probably say the Husky 701 currently has the Lust, but that may change next month. And something strange about me that people may not know, I have an obsessive compulsive problem with always wanting to make right turns and not make left turns, but that's due to a tragic life story that maybe I'll make it on podcast sometime.
My name is Mark Scherrens. I help Drew out with his podcast every once in a while when he's kind enough to have me on. I live in a little suburb called Cumming, Georgia, about 45 minutes north of Atlanta. Pretty much always thought I'd grow up to draw comic books. And as you can see, well, whoever's watching this behind me, I've got a bunch of Ninja Turtles toys and G.I. Joes and Transformers and all kinds of that kind of crap sitting around my house. So my son and I share that joy. And probably my favorite bike is the one I have, because why would you not own your favorite bike? And that's the Norden 901 Expedition right now. We'll see.
All right, I'm Heather Wilson Schiltz. I host Momentum, a motorsports podcast, and I also own High Gear Success, a motorsports marketing and communications company. Favorite bike would be my KTM 690 Enduro. And a fun fact, this is probably going to age me on the young side, but if anybody's familiar with like the Disney cartoon Lilo and Stitch, Stitch is like the little alien creature. I can talk like Stitch, and no, I won't do that right now, but it's a weird talent.
Oh, my turn. I am Ted Kettler. I'm the host of the Motorcycle Men podcast, Ride with Ted YouTube channel, 3 additional blogs, author of The Road Most Traveled book, and my favorite bike is the one I got, my Heritage Classic, my Harley Davidson 2003 Anniversary Edition. I was, weird thing you didn't know, probably a lot of people don't know this, I was the lead singer in a John Mellencamp tribute band for 20 years.
So my name is Trevor Schoonover. My buddy James and I do the Tallboys and Trackmasters podcast. We're nearing episode 100, finally. Favorite bike is, I don't know, I'm really partial to my KTM 350. And I guess a weird fact about me is I like titanium so much. As an engineer, I decided to get some on my wrist. So.
Hi, I'm James Wright. I'm the co-host and host of the Tallboys and Trackmasters podcast, along with Trevor. I'm from Fairmont, West Virginia. My favorite motorcycle is one that I actually own right now, which would be my Gas 700. Interesting fact about me is I'm freezing to death currently, and I have a heater between my legs.
Good memories of us doing podcasts on location in your garage when it was like 10 degrees outside.
Wow.
It is very winter for people listening, obviously. So I wanted to bring podcasters together to give everybody a chance
all of
to.
you up north in northern?
That is correct.
Yeah.
You are.
So James is in Fairmont. I live in Masontown, which is Preston County, which isn't too far away, but it's higher elevation, so it snows more up here, it gets colder, etc.
Okay.
We're preparing for winter apocalypse in Atlanta this weekend, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Well, crazy fact is I live in central Ohio, but I'm going to be in Atlanta this weekend, but hopefully I make it
the wrong
there
weekend.
before all the chaos. So
Wow, 100%. Right. So
have fun. Bring the Ohio with you.
obviously wanted to spread around so different listeners and audiences and whatnot to have everybody together. So Ted has hosted some wonderful motorcycle Jeopardy. So Ted, if you want to take it away and explain us the rules and how this is going to take place, and we can kick off Hollywood Squares here.
Okay. Now, the way this motorcycle Jeopardy works, it's not like the TV Jeopardy. It's kind of like it, but it's not like it. With each, there's 5 topics, and then there's 5 rows from 1 to 100, or 1 to 500, 100 to 500. Within each topic, there are 4 answers. So you got A, B, C, and D. So I will give you the hint, and then you have to pick one of the 4 answers. Each of you pick one of the 4 answers. And then when I reveal the answer, whoever gets it correct will get the points. So if 2 of you get the points, you all get it. Within this grid, I'm going to show you in a second, there are going to be 5 bonus questions, 3 of which give an additional 100 points. One of them is a daily double, and then one of them is the double or nothing. And you can choose if you want to double your score or nothing. It's not double that amount, it's double your whole score. So if you get it wrong, you're back to 0. Okay? The way it starts off is, since how Drew is the host here, he will go first. And then from that point on, whoever gets the question right, we'll start the next round. If nobody gets that series of questions right, the last person who had it will go again. Unlike Jeopardy, where you can pick whatever dollar amount you want, here we start at the top and work our way down from 100 to 500, building up the anticipation and anxiety level as much as we can. Anybody have any questions?
I'm ready.
No, you all are scared to death right now, right?
Yeah, terrified. Yeah.
All right, so the topics are, you want to know what the topics are, right? Okay, the topics are stay here, and this is about places you would stay. Now, before I go on any further, everything involved in this revolves around motorcycles. Either it's a destination, someplace to go, something to see, about motorcycles, about roads, or whatever. So it's motorcycle related, okay? Stay here, which is destinations, places you can stay. Side of the road, this is roadside America. Anything you would see, oddities on the side of the road. U.S. highways, colors of motorcycles, and MSRP. All right, you guys are already angry already that you got involved with this, I can tell.
Well, the MSRP one is going to be really fun for me, being a dealer's daughter, because I don't know reality sometimes. And I was telling James, like, all I had to do up until like literally last year is be like, hey, Dad, can you order? And then stuff would magically appear. So that one's going to be a challenge.
Okay. So
Man, I want that problem.
Really?
Don't we all?
So also, with regard to the answers, feel free to analyze, just like get into detail what you think, play with it. If you want to like just have a little argument with yourself trying to pick the right answer, please do so, because it makes it fun for everybody. Okay. Any questions? If not, we can start.
Let's go.
All right,
it.
Drew, pick it.
MSRP.
Okay, for 100 MSRP, the starting base price of the Honda CBR 1000RR-R Fireblade is what? 18.9, 21.9, 28.9, or 23.459? Drew, what is it? Oh, by the way, no phones, no cheating. Just in the honor system here.
Tell me option B and C one more time.
That's 21.9 and 28.9.
I'm going to go with B, 21.9.
B, okay.
Do we get to see these options on screen, or I have to remember all of my choices?
Oh, you know what? I didn't know. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to share the screen. I can do that.
Okay,
I
I'm like,
apologize for
man,
not
I'm a really
doing
visual
so.
person.
I was sitting here making notes.
Sorry.
Thank you, Heather.
Well, you were
I
even
apologize
talking
for that.
to us
It's
taking
my
notes,
fault.
so-
This is what we call technical difficulties. All right. There we go. Is that
I
better?
feel much better
Oh,
about
there
this
we go.
now.
All right.
Nice. Excellent. This makes for better video, right?
It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah,
And only
that makes
for
a
the
huge
player.
difference. Yes.
Yes.
Well, Drew, we are waiting on you.
I'm sticking with B.
B.
Yep.
Because we're going in alphabetical order, Heather.
I'm choosing D.
Okay. James.
I'm going to say D as well.
Oh, copycat. Mark.
$1, sir.
Wrong show.
I'll be the odd man. I'll go with A, just because I have zero clue what is happening or what that bike even really is, to be honest with you. So here we go.
Trevor.
I'm going to go with B,
B.
to not be
All
accused
right.
of being a copycat.
Correct answer is. You know what? If I was on the right screen when I did, that'd be great. Correct answer is
Oh.
C. Nobody got it.
0. Goose egg.
Womp,
All right.
womp.
Drew, go ahead.
Give me MSRP for 200.
What is the base price of the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650? $46.79, $63.49, $55.99, or $34.29. Drew.
I'm going to go with B. 63-ish $100.
Heather.
I say C.
James.
I'm going to say B as well.
Copycat. Mark.
I'm lowballing again. I'm going with A because it's a Royal Enfield, so it's got to be cheap, right?
One can only hope. Trevor.
C.
Okay. And the correct answer is B. That one goes to Drew and James. They both get the points. So Drew and James get their points. All right. So, seeing as how Drew's been going, we're gonna let James go first. Go pick it now.
Ooh, give me, let's do colors.
Color for 100. The color Candy Arnett Red comes from what motorcycle company? Harley, Indian, Triumph, or Honda? What is it, James?
You to say Indian B.
Yeah. All right, Drew.
I'm going to copy. I think it's Indian as well. B.
Okay, Heather.
I think it's Indian. It doesn't sound very Honda.
Mark.
I've never heard of Ardent before. I have no idea what that is. I'm going to imagine in my brain that's a British word, and I'm going to go with C, Triumph.
All right.
That's good logic.
Trevor.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
C. Triumph for the same logic.
Okay, and the correct answer is Honda.
Oh, no.
Nobody got it.
That is not red, bro. That's purple, if
Hey,
anything.
I don't. I don't make it Candy Ardent Red.
Wow.
We got some.
All
All
right. Yeah, James, pick it again.
Let's continue on for colors again.
Colors. 200. This is for an additional 100 points. The color Pearl Solar Yellow is featured on this company's most popular bike, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha. James.
I'm going to kind of stick with a little bit of logic and say Suzuki, since yellow is their favorite color.
Okay, Drew.
I'm going to throw off, even though I think James is correct, and I'm going to say C, Kawasaki.
Okay. Heather.
I'm really torn because initially I was thinking Kawasaki, but Suzuki makes more sense. But then Yamaha had like throwback yellow. So I'm actually going to pick
Hurricane
D.
All right. Mark.
I had the same thoughts as Heather with Yamaha, but I need some points here, so I have to go with the obvious Suzuki, so B for me.
Okay. I don't know how anything is obvious in this game, but okay. Trevor.
Yeah, B for me as well.
B for you. And the correct answer for an additional 100 points is Kawasaki. Pearl Solar Yellow on the KLR.
Mark's pre-show KLR
And
joke really
Drew takes that. Another 200 points plus an additional 100. Here we go. Look at that. Okay, Drew.
MSRP for 300.
This is the Drew show, so. Colors for 300. This company got spacey with Interstellar Blue. Yamaha, Harley-Davidson, Royal Enfield, or Triumph? Drew?
I'm going to say C, Royal Enfield.
Okay. Heather?
I'm going to say I never actually look at the color names of bikes. Like, clearly, I've never shopped and looked at the actual names of colors of bikes.
This may change that.
I've got really no idea on this. I'm going to go with Triumph, D.
D for Triumph. Hey, all right, James.
I'm feeling like cranking my hog, so I'm going to go with B, Harley Davidson.
Okay. Mark? What do you think?
I got to process James's answer for a few seconds, but I'm going to go with C, Royal Enfield as well.
All right. Trevor?
I'll crank my hog on camera as well. B, Harley Davidson.
All right. And the correct answer is Triumph.
What? I got it right.
Nice.
And who picked that? That was
Lucky
me. That
guess,
was
very
Heather.
lucky
You got the
guess.
points, Heather. You should be
Very
happy
lucky.
about that. Look at that. 300 points already. Beating James out. Look at Mark and Trevor don't feel like playing today. Heather, pick
Oh, I
it.
love losing.
Let's do stay here for 100.
Stay here for 100. Okay. Where might you be staying in this tiny sheep wagon? Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, or Texas? What do you think?
I'm going to say B, Wyoming.
Okay. Drew?
D, Texas.
All right. James?
I'm going to say Montana, A.
Mark?
Yeah, seeing as how Alabama was not on this list of options, I am also going with A, Montana. That's the next best guess.
Trevor?
C, North Dakota.
All right. And the correct answer is Wyoming.
Wow.
There's the link
I've
there. I'll
got
share
some
it with you
lucky
guys.
guesses.
Man.
How much does that Airbnb rent for?
Wow, we can even see it.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Where is it right here?
Oh, it's in the bustling metropolis of Casper, Wyoming, no
Yeah,
less.
286 a night for 5 nights.
Sleeps up to 7 people?
I'm going to pass on that one for sure.
It's
Yeah.
available probably. We can set you up a date right now.
James,
Yeah.
that is very Preston County.
Yes, it is. That's probably your neighbor across the street, isn't it?
Could well be.
I was going to accuse Indiana.
I never
of
trust
that.
anything that's hosted by a guy named Steve.
So Heather got that. All right.
Coming for you, Drew.
You keep going.
Yep.
Heather, it's still you.
Oh, let's do stay here for 200.
Oh, okay. Where might you find this general store Airbnb to stay in? Georgia, Vermont, Mississippi, or Texas?
I'm between Georgia and Vermont, but I'm leaning towards, weirdly, Vermont. B.
Okay. Drew.
I think that's Georgia. A.
Okay. James.
I'm going to say Georgia as well because that looks like a bunch of red clay to me.
So you're going to say Georgia. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Mark.
I might learn something new about my state here, but I have never seen that before, and I am going to go with Mississippi.
Okay. Trevor.
I guess I'll say Georgia as well.
Hey, look at this. Oh, you guys are certain that this is Georgia. And the correct answer is Texas.
Come on.
Nobody got that. And if you guys are interested, I'll show it to you and how much it is. Yes?
I didn't even know there were trees in Texas. What the hell?
Yeah, for $553 for 3 nights, for 5 nights.
I know, like along the Northeast BDR in Vermont, there's a lot of general stores like that as well. So
Yeah.
I kind of thought that in a way, but still
I just
wrong.
like how there was between Vermont and Georgia. They're what the hell? They're not even close to the
I
same
don't
thing.
know. They seem like, I don't know, just like touristy things that you would find in those states.
Yeah,
awesome.
you can come up with all kinds of reasons why you think it might be somewhere. It's just you really don't bother. Well, Heather, since nobody won that, you can go ahead
Okay.
and
Let's do side of the road for 100.
side of the road for 100. Here we go. Where might you find this house covered in license plates? Indiana, Illinois, Louisiana, or New Hampshire? What do you think, Heather?
I don't know. Illinois is really weird, so I'm going to say B.
Drew.
I think that's a solid guess on her part, but man, that just looks like Indiana to me, based on my experience there. It's it could
nothing
be
says
absolutely
license
be
plate house
Kentucky,
like
but
Indiana. Right?
Yeah.
James.
No clue, but I do like me some Creole, so I'm going to go with Louisiana C.
All right. Mark.
Yeah, you guys guessed Indiana and Illinois. I've also never seen trees in those states. So I'm going to be the wild man and go with New Hampshire because I have seen trees in that state.
Okay. Trevor.
C, Louisiana.
Oh, there you go. And the correct answer is Hinsdale, New Hampshire. Hey, Mark's on the board.
All right, long
Mark's
time
on the
coming.
board. Whopping 100 points, dude. He's catching
Laugh
up,
at my-
guys.
you laugh at my logic, but it worked out there.
All right, Mark, you get to pick this round.
All right, let's go with U.S. highways for 100, please, Ted.
All right. Plus 100 points for this one. Route U.S. runs singers from Fort Kent, Maine to Key West, Florida for a total of 3170, 2370, 2730, or 2481 miles. What's it going to be?
am going to have to go with C, 2,730 miles.
All right. Drew.
I think Mark is correct, so I'm going to say D, 2481.
Oh, you think
Not
Mark is
saying the
correct?
same thing.
So you're going to pick D?
Yes.
Okay. Heather. You make my head
I
hurt.
choose A.
James.
I'm going to go with D2 because if it's exactly 2,730 on the dot, that's a little odd. So I'm going to go D, 2,481.
All right. Trevor.
I'm going to say
Hold
B.
on. Hold on. Mark, you said, wait. Oh, sorry. James, you said D. Okay, gotcha.
D, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Trevor?
I'm going to say B because James said there's no way it's that one.
You're going to say B.
Good
I
logic.
can't, I can't get fewer than 0 points. So
This is true. I mean, somebody's going to get this one because you each picked a different letter. All right, for an additional 100 points on this one. Correct answer is B for 2,370 miles.
Yes.
Trevor is on the board with.
Welcome, Trevor.
feels good to be here.
He made it. All right, Trevor. You get the pick.
Colors for 400.
Oh, boy. Going to big dollars now. Teal Thunder is the creation of this motorcycle company. Royal Enfield, Indian, Harley-Davidson, Energica. What's it, Trevor?
I guess B, Indian.
Drew?
I'm going to have to throw off and say C, Harley Davidson.
Okay. Heather?
Yeah, I was thinking Thunder is definitely Harley Davidson, so C.
Good logic. James?
I want to pick Harley, but I'm going to go with Royal Enfield A.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah, that absolutely has to be a Harley Davidson color, so I'm going to guess B, Indian.
What's the name of their Indian engine again?
I have no idea.
Thunderstroke 111.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. Okay, so we have 1A, 2 Bs, and 2 Cs, and the correct answer is Harley Davidson.
Oh,
so Drew and Heather will share in those points. All right. And
That was too
Hundo,
obvious.
right?
That was a trick.
Yeah.
Dirty. That's a dirty
Teal
pool,
isn't a
Ted.
very Harley color, but
Ted has a history of being accused of these things, so the game is still young, my friend.
all right. Well, we'll let Heather pick again.
definitely not MSRP. So let's do side of the road for 200.
In Fayetteville, Arkansas, there is this roadside attraction. It's a giant moonshine jug, a giant statue of Johnny Cash, a giant piece of rice, a giant dancing hog. So, what's it going to be, Heather?
Moonshine seems right for Arkansas.
So, you're going to go with A. How about you, Drew?
Razorbacks, isn't that the mascot of Arkansas
Couldn't tell you.
College of some
I don't know
variety?
anything about traditional sports.
I'm going to
neither do
say D, giant dancing hog.
Okay. James?
D as well. Fayetteville is the home of the University of Arkansas, and that is their logo, the Razorback. So
These
dancing
guys know
hog.
more than me about that. Mark?
Yeah, I just have to go with D, a giant dancing hog, because that one makes me laugh the most. So I'm going that route.
Trevor?
D, giant cranking hog.
So, we got 1A and 4 Ds. Correct answer is giant dancing hog.
Bam.
Well,
Damn.
not knowing anything about football, I mean, I was not going to get that. So
There's, There might be a logo on the back of my bike that says Bush Hog. I mean, it's
Nice.
a thing.
Wow, look at that. Heather, you didn't
That is
score there.
something.
That's a bummer. So, who hasn't gone yet? James? Mark? Which one of you guys haven't gone?
I went.
Oh, okay. No, well, James,
We
go
all
ahead. We're going to let you pick the next
let's
category.
see. Yeah. Let's do U.S. highways there for 200.
All right. At this time, the U.S. interstate highway system encompasses approximately 3,740 miles, 49,000 miles, 41,000 miles, or 48,000 miles. What do you think, James?
No clue, but I did have a C average in school, so let's go with C.
Drew?
D equals diploma, so I'm going to do D, 49,000-ish.
Yeah, okay. Heather?
I think C.
No, copycat. Mark?
I'm gonna go with B because I always wanted to be average in school. So I'll go B.
And Trevor.
I'll say B too. It just feels right.
2 B's, 2 C's, and a D. And the correct answer is D.
Dun, dun.
Look at Drew running. I did not give Drew the answers, by the way, just so you know.
No, it's randomness. We can double or nothing.
Total
And totally mess this
randomness
up.
here. Oh, my God. All right. Drew, pick it again.
MSRP for 300.
There we go. The Aprilia RS660 factory has a base price of what? $15,900, $14,900, $13,900, or $12,495. Drew?
I'm going to go with C, 13,999.
Heather.
I've got zero clue on this once again, but I'm going to go with A.
Okay. James?
Aprilia is proud of their stuff, so I'm going to say A as well.
Oh, okay. Mark?
I have no reason to guess anything other than B because I don't even know what that motorcycle is. It could be a cruiser for all I know. So, yep.
Trevor?
For the same logic as James, I'll say A.
3 A's, a B, and a C. And the correct answer is C.
Dang.
Drew got it again.
I shop a lot.
I don't know why anybody doesn't just guess the same answer as Drew, to be honest. It's all he does all day on Instagram is post
That's
motorcycle
true.
MSRP. I mean, we're all
Especially
idiots.
for this category.
Got ChatGPT there giving him
It's,
answers.
it's the same engine that's in the Touareg 660. So
See?
that's why I'm like, it's a parallel. It's a sport version of a Touareg 650.
So if there is a next time, I should say, okay, Drew, what don't you know about motorcycles?
Clearly stay here. That is definitely.
What's the next category, Drew?
Let's do stay
How
here
to
for
ride
today.
them.
All right. Where might you find this cozy yurt to stay in? Maine, West Virginia, Arizona, Vermont.
I'm going to say Maine.
Maine. Hey.
Total. I want to say West Virginia, but I'm going to say Maine.
Okay. Heather?
I think West Virginia.
Okay.
I know it's
Ray?
fancy for West Virginia, James, but
Well,
you know
The reason I'm shaking my head
tourist-
is our good friend, Mr. Mark Wolf with Wolf
Yep.
Haven Tree Farm, has a yurt, and I can tell you for sure that that is not his house. And he's one of the only people in West Virginia I know that has a yurt.
Oh,
So for that logic, I'm going to say it's definitely not Arizona. So let's go with D, Vermont.
All right. Mark?
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Arizona because, again, that's not a desert.
cactuses.
Yeah, I think D, Vermont is, yeah, there's no cacti, right? I don't see a Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote. D, Vermont.
Trevor?
I'll go with Maine.
Maine.
The main man.
And the correct answer is Vermont.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. James and Mark get that one.
I was waiting for that to turn up Arizona. I was like, there's no
That was-
way.
yeah,
but you
that
know
was
what?
The one green spot in Arizona.
Yeah.
So you can see what we're up against here. This one is, there it is.
Shameless
Unavailable.
plug, though. If you guys are looking for a heck of a yurt to stay in West Virginia, Mark Wolf's is the one to go.
Yes.
If you're in the yurt kind of mood, right?
Those are
It's
are
nice.
kind of a thing in Red River Gorge. I've seen some kind of like that advertised in that area. So I was like, if it says Kentucky, then it's not really fair.
Mark, go ahead and pick it, man.
Yeah, let's go. I'm on a roll. Let's go with stay here for 400 and keep it going.
All right, this is the daily double. You get it right. Your points are doubled. Not
my
your
gosh.
overall points, these points.
Gotcha.
All right, so for 2 night to 2 night for 5 nights in this Idaho Airbnb, what are you staying in? A flower pot, a converted school bus, a converted missile silo, a grotto.
Dude, I want to stay in a converted missile silo so bad because this is literally the first time I've ever heard of such a thing. So let's hope and pray that C is the right answer.
Okay, Drew.
I think we're staying in a flower pot. I want to stay in a converted school bus, but I wonder if the flower pot's cheaper.
Schoolies are cool.
Yeah.
All right, Heather.
man, I'm all over the place because at first I thought flower pot, then I thought silo, but then the missile thing really threw me. And now I'm thinking like school bus seems logical for Idaho. so I'm going to go with B.
You go with B. James.
Let's go with missile silo. You dropped a bomb on me.
Are you going to break into song now?
You dropped the bomb on me.
Just
Trevor.
like that. We just got a YouTube strike.
It's not like I have anything to lose with 400 points on the board. I want to say a flower pot for comedic value alone.
Did anybody ask
Good
what
choice.
a grotto is? Because I actually do not
It's
know.
just like some kind of wet cave thing or something like that.
Basically, that's it.
It's like a
It's an underground
gentrified cave.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's a cave with water. Right? And the
So
correct
Smaller you guys would be staying in a flower pot, by the way. What are you, Smurfs?
I'm going to be once I stay in a flower pot.
correct answer is a flower. So
That's
Drew
a
and
big-ass
Trevor
flower
got those
pot, dude.
points.
Trevor's making a comeback.
Oh, man.
Drew is practically untouchable at this point. Trevor, go ahead and pick it.
Side of the road for 300.
Okay. Double or nothing. In Boys Town, Nebraska, there is the world's largest ball of what? Stamps, bumper stickers, rubber bands, or Band-Aids. Now, you can select the double or nothing or not. So you can choose if you want to do that or not. So, seeing as how Trevor got that one, and of course Drew, but Trevor, do you want the double or nothing? Yes or no?
No, I don't want to go back down to 0. I don't feel really strong on this one. Nebraska's a weird place, and all of those are, pretty fitting options. I'll just say stamps.
Drew.
This is a rectal extraction, I promise. I'm going to say double or nothing just to make
Yes.
it interesting. And I'm going to say the world's largest ball of Band-Aids because that's just gross.
All right, double or nothing. You said yes. Heather, you want the double
Oh,
or
so
nothing?
we all get to decide double or nothing.
Yes.
Whew, this is risky, but I'm gonna say double or not. I'm gonna do double.
You're
Yeah.
gonna do double or nothing. Okay. Well, what's your pick?
The Band-Aid one was really gross. That's just really nasty. I'm gonna say rubber bands.
Okay. C. James.
I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and double or nothing and also say rubber bands. And I feel pretty good about this because I believe I've seen this before.
And Mark.
So I lived 3 minutes from Boys Town, Nebraska for 3 years when I was a kid, and I don't know what the hell this question is about. None of this makes any sense at all. But I feel like I'm going with Band-Aids as well because, I mean, let's just see if they're new or used. You know what I'm saying? Let's go
Right.
with Band-Aids.
Lightly.
Are you doing the double or nothing or no?
Oh, no way. No.
I'm probably gonna regret this.
Yeah.
And the correct answer is stamps.
Oh, and I didn't go
So
double or
Trevor is
nothing.
the only one who got that right, and he did not select the double or nothing.
Air high
But he
five,
gets
Heather.
the
We got
points, and everybody else. Well, Mark, you didn't do the double or nothing, so you stay at 600.
no.
But James and Heather
Ugh.
and
Heartbreak.
Drew. Look at Drew.
Goose
Andrew?
eggs. Goose eggs.
Okay, I mean that
How
reset
the
the board
mighty
a
have
little bit.
fallen.
Well,
Yes.
it's like
See, the playing field just got leveled really quick.
People like
That was
a tight
a
game.
lot of kids licking stamps.
it's child labor.
Well, Trevor, now that you're in the lead, you get the pick.
Way to go, Trevor.
Well, it's like
Trevor's
Lee
like in
Harvey
disbelief.
Oswald said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Wow.
Wow, that's so much
Shot
worse than the
fired.
joke I was going to make
Right.
at Boys Town.
Even saying shot fired feels kind of weird after that.
Side of the road for 400.
Okay. In Lawton, Oklahoma, there is a military roadside exhibit. It's a B-52 bomber, a World War II German submarine, the atomic cannon, a Minuteman missile. What do you think, Trevor?
For everyone listening, I'm either going to drag you down the road of being wrong, or I'm going to make this make sense. Fort Sill, Oklahoma is the home of field artillery, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to say that that's the home of C, the atomic cannon. Could be bull. I may be dead
I
off.
was way too confident with that answer. Don't you
I'm
guys
thinking
agree?
that's where we're going.
I think we all agree that was way too confident. But Heather, we want
I'm
you
gonna
to show your
trust
confidence.
Drew's military and historical knowledge, so I'm gonna go with C.
Okay. James,
C.
you're going to C also?
Yeah.
I might be dragging everybody off the cliff.
Ah,
here.
you
We'll
never
see.
know. Mark,
I'm at 0. You can't take me any lower.
I'm going to go with the name I danced under in college, which was D, the Minuteman Missile.
There's not an
Trevor.
episode where he doesn't get that in.
I'll say C, the atomic cannon.
all right. And the correct answer is the atomic cannon for C. So Drew gets it,
The
Well
king
done,
of battle,
Drew.
kids.
and
The
Heather
king of
gets it,
battle.
and
Man, that's-
James got it, and Trevor got it.
That thing's badass, by the way.
It's,
I'm Googling that thing
I
after
was-
this episode.
It's
That was
actually
legit.
pretty cool history for an experimental weapon
They
if you
built
look into
5
it.
of them.
When I
Fire
was
rate
overseas
was
the first time, I was with a guy that was a former artillery guy, and he talked about training because he was in during the 80s, where that was a legit thing. That's like, yeah, we can only fire it twice or whatever it is before melting the barrel. I'm
I
like,
think
yeah, that's,
once upon a
that's not
time
good.
they looked into like atomic shoulder fired weaponry. That was a pretty cool rabbit hole too.
You know what that's strange to me?
Survivability was quite low for the for the crew firing, but anyway,
That thing was not about to show somebody why we don't have free health care.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's let Trevor get answer this one. Pick it.
MSRP for 400. Please be a street and trail.
Plus 100. BMW's A1600B has the base price of $26,000, $31,000, $19,000, or $23,000. What do you think? This is for an additional 100 points, by the way, Trevor. So
I don't even know what a K1600B is.
Not a street and trail.
It is the sub trim, so they have a Excelsior like sport touring model that's a straight 6, but the B is their bagger version of that. So imagine an Electroglide, but actually a Street Glide with no tour pack.
I love how Drew just like whips out this knowledge.
That's pretty
Just
impressive.
recites it.
It's almost like he has his phone in front of him.
He's read the manual.
I have a sickness now.
Since it's BMW, I'll go with A 261999.
Okay. Drew.
Man, it's tough because if it was the regular base model, I would 100% say 30 grand plus, right? But for some reason, I think it's one notch back from that. So I'm going to follow Trevor with A for 26199.
Heather.
A.
You wasted no time. You put no thought into that whatsoever. Let's just follow what Drew says.
Well, I mean, I know BMWs are pretty expensive, but yeah.
All right. James?
I got to go with A as well.
Oh, my God. Mark?
There's no way I'm guessing anything but the highest price. B, 31,995. Yeah.
This is for an additional 100 points. Who did we just lose? Oh, Trevor?
Trevor backed out.
I'll have to wait for him to come back in.
Trevor was winning. He just forfeited. I get his points. Dibs.
That's not the way it works.
That's the way it works now, Ted.
I don't know. I think co-hosts have a
He's
say
back.
on that.
And the correct answer is D.
Wow. Now,
Nobody got it.
here's something I should have said on the front end that I didn't think of until I picked it. BMW does not typically import base models into the U.S. So if we started poking around their website, we would find out that you can't take that home without ordering it special through the dealer for less than, 28 grand or something.
Drew is the original motorcycle nerd.
That thing looks like a BMW 5 Series with 2 wheels, honestly.
Yeah, that bike's ugly. What do
I
you
was going to say they found a way to make an uglier bagger.
leave it to BMW.
You've clearly not seen the what is that Moto Guzzi B26 or whatever it is, or
You're right, I haven't seen
Not the
it.
PC 800.
Well,
If it doesn't come factory with knobbies, I don't even know that it exists.
I mean, what's even the point, right, Trevor?
Trevor's seen the Panigale then because it's had those TKC 80s on it in the woods.
James, why don't you pick it?
Let's go with U.S. highways for 300 there.
There you go. On Interstate 70, there's one location, the longest in the country, where there are no exits or services available. How long is that section? 66 miles, 110 miles, 216, or 155? So there's a section of I-70 where there's no services or exits. For how far? 66, 110. That's a long way to go. No matter which one they are, it's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Without an exit or any services. So there's no rest areas, no gas station, no nothing. So, James, what do you think?
Let's go with D, 155 miles.
D. Drew.
I think James is on to something there, but I've talked a lot about Alaska with some of the guys, I don't know the answer to this, but I actually think it's B, 110 miles.
Heather.
Gut instinct for me was B, so that's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah. Mark.
Yeah, I also was thinking 110 miles, so I'm going to stick with that one as well.
All
B.
right. Trevor, the guy in the lead.
So it does go through Alaska?
Well, no, 70. This section of 70
No.
is probably in like eastern Colorado, Kansas. I forget if it goes through
know my
Nebraska.
road system. So
Yeah.
It's 4 quarters for sure.
Yeah.
to maintain the lack of originality, I'm going to say B, 110 miles.
Because we all get it wrong.
Okay. We got 4 B's and a B. 4 B's and a D. And the correct answer is 110 miles between Salina and Green River, Utah.
Utah, I missed it.
Yes,
Totally.
You guys get
Wow.
that. You
Congratulations,
get that.
everybody.
James gets. Oh, James does. Yeah, James does not get that. Take that back.
No,
James
everybody
does not
but
get that.
James.
Mark and Trevor
Congratulations,
get
everyone
it.
but James.
I mean, that's the
All
thing
right.
about this one. Most people, 100 miles is their maximum range. And I was like, I've never heard anybody mention that on 70 before, so it can't be that far.
Heather, pick it.
Let's do side of the road for 500.
All right. This giant dragon at night can be found where? New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, North Dakota. What do you think?
Got no idea on this. I would say Ohio if that was an option because there's a Renaissance festival here, but I don't even know.
Doesn't every state have a Renaissance festival?
I think they do. We can let her think Ohio's special, though, Ted.
I
I assure you
I'm
it's
gonna
not.
say D, North Dakota.
Drew.
I'm just going to pick Nevada just for no reason at all.
James.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. He's going with an A. Mark.
Dude, that looks like some Texas nonsense if I've ever seen it. So I'm going C, Texas.
Cover the bases, kids.
Yeah, that's it. Trevor.
Come on, Trevor.
You can do it. What state's crazy enough to do this?
I mean,
on the Texas train.
every one of them on that list. Realistically, I wouldn't be surprised. C, Texas.
All right. There we go. Correct answer is North Dakota.
Solid.
Heather, you got that.
Lucky guess.
It'd have been cooler if it was on a state line and one state had the dragon and one state had the knight.
I see that. That would be difficult, right? All right, Heather, you can get the picket here.
Let's do stay here for 500.
All right. How much will you pay to stay in this classy RV Airbnb in California for 5 nights? $495, $995, $450, or $320
This is the per night pricing or the total?
for 5 nights total.
I mean, it's most definitely got to be B then, because I could even see B being the per night price in California. So that's why I was asking for clarification. But regardless, it's got to be the most expensive option. So
Drew?
I've been looking at like container houses in Kentucky, and it's $300 a night. I'm 100% saying B for $995 in California. There's probably a permit just so you can even stay in here.
James?
I'm going to say B as well. And what they probably don't tell you is you have to kick some of the homeless folks out of there.
there's always a catch. Yes.
Always a catch. They come with you. Mark?
Those are the cleaning people.
Yeah, I also have to go with B. And it doesn't even, like, California is a huge state. It doesn't even matter if you're in the nice part or the meth part. It's going to be $995. So
Nice part of
B.
the
Yeah.
Trevor?
You could have put up an image of a shoebox, and I still would have picked B.
Yep.
No, are we all wrong is the question.
Wow.
Poor California.
That's amazing. Okay.
Well, if we're all wrong, we're going down together. So
All right, correct answer is B.
That's it.
Holy crap. Everybody got it. All right.
Thank you.
Ted, that was
Housing
the
crisis.
$500 question, dude.
That
There's
was.
no $100 question.
No East Coast bias here at all.
Wow.
Zero.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys, I don't know if you want to see it or not. But it's actually really cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. Guys,
Okay,
You
I mean,
didn't show us the grotto there.
I was
Ted.
going to
Come
say,
on.
is that a grotto?
Yeah. Look at this. It's
That's
pretty
nicer
nice.
than my house.
Those people come with.
There's
it
the
also.
homeless people right there.
The homeless
Wow.
people. Yeah.
the interior is actually not that great, but the exterior, that's cool.
Yeah. See.
I don't even see needles or anything.
Outdoor bathroom. There you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the stall at work. There's no bottom to the door, so everybody can look at my feet.
That's a steal.
Yeah. For $9.95 for 5 nights. Not bad, huh?
They clearly like horses.
I was going to say they really like horses.
Wow. And Topanga, too.
So everybody got that one. Everybody got their points. Well, it seems that y'all got it. We let Heather pick. We're going to let Drew pick this time.
MSRP for 500.
Killing that category. The Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250 Special has a starting price of $19,900, $21,900, $23,495, or $17,900. Drew.
For 2026, it is A, 19,999.
All right.
I've never shopped for a Harley, so I'm definitely going to trust Drew on this. A.
Oh, the copycat syndrome is happening again.
I look forward
James.
to eating crow here, so.
I'm pretty sure that I saw this yesterday in someone's post, so I'm going to say A as well.
Are we going to have a repeat performance of the last question? Mark.
Yeah, I'm 100% not going against Drew on this one. It's for sure 19,999. Yeah. Yeah.
Trevor.
He can tell us all the features, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based on an overwhelming body of evidence, I'm going to say A.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Here we go. Correct answer is A.
What a shock.
I've apparently got
Wow.
some kind of reputation.
Drew should have to go last on the MSRP questions.
Oh, man. Look at this. It's out of control here.
Yeah.
All right, that category is dead. All right. Well, everybody got that one. Let's go with Mark this time. So you start.
All right, let's go with colors for 500.
Killing that category. Which
Kill it.
Italian motorcycle company is home to the color Duecento Tributo? Aprilia,
Now-
Moto, Benelli, or Moto Guzzi?
Now that's a $500 question, Ted, right there. How about Benelli? Aren't they Chinese now? That's not even. Let's go with
You're not allowed
just
to say
because I want to say it this way. Moto Guzzi D.
Drew.
I agree with Mark on this one. Moto Guzzi is all about the throwback, so tributing is so definitely
Heather?
Moto Guzzi.
I was really leaning towards A initially, but I could also be swayed to D. But I think I'm going to stick with my gut, so I'm going with A.
Okay.
Good call.
James.
I want to say D, and there was definitely a man in a dark room smoking a cigarette when he picked up.
Yeah, there
Was
was.
it a cigar?
Yeah,
So what's it going to
it's
be?
funny too.
You're going with D?
D, yes.
All right. And Trevor.
It's a pretty eccentric name. So the most eccentric company that I know of is Moto Guzzi.
All right, so you're picking D also.
Yep.
All right, and the correct answer is Moto Guzzi.
Yep, the new Stelvio.
There it is.
What I'm saying.
That is an MSRP I would not have gotten.
Drew and James and Mark and Trevor.
Does it come with unlimited breadsticks?
When you buy it, your family.
Can you imagine just sitting down at an Italian restaurant and rattling that name off? Like, yes, I'd like the...
Well, because
Duecento
Heather was the only
Tributo.
one who did not get that question right, we're going to let Heather pick this one. Well,
Uh,
you obviously going 400,
Oh,
so
let's
that's
do
it.
400, yeah.
Yeah. Of all the U.S. interstates, which one has the most service areas? I-80, I-90, I-70, or I-95? Well, wait a minute. What happened here?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
no.
go.
Gave us the answer.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Oh,
D.
I'm gonna say D.
no.
I-95.
Oh, no.
The sad part is I was getting ready to guess
Oh, no.
70. So I
All
was
right,
like,
so
looking at
I'm gonna give all of you the answer. Oh, that was an error. Holy crap! I sincerely apologize. Everybody's gonna get those points.
Amateur
For the listening
hour.
audience, Ted literally gave us all the answers.
All the
on that
answers
one.
are shown right there.
You're like
so-
my favorite high school teacher, Ted.
That's the
I didn't
closest
have to
thing.
come to your house after school to get that answer.
I was so looking forward to seeing what was going to come up with that one. Oh,
Keep notes. I would have got that wrong.
That's the
I ruined
closest
that
thing to
whole
luck
thing for
I've had in
everyone.
months. I'll
And for the
take it.
final category, this is the only question that I will say. I will answer. I will go with. But here we go. What percentage of the original Route 66 is still drivable? A, 85%, 40%, 25%, or 75%. Now, whichever answer you pick. This is the only question I will say. I will ask you this after we pick. Well, we'll see. Go ahead, pick. So we're going to go with, well, let's go with Heather again, seeing as how you picked it last time.
I'm going to go with A, 85%.
All right. Drew.
I'm going to go D, 75%.
James.
I'm going to say D as well, 75%.
Mark.
I actually don't think you can drive most of it. I'm going with B, 40%.
And Trevor.
I'll say A2.
All right. Now, does anybody want to change their answer? This is the only time in this game I will answer this question. Does anybody want to change their answer?
I've never
No, you
been
gotta
more
go with your
sure about
gut.
anything in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So you guys are sticking with your answers, are you?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And the correct answer for this one is A, 85%.
Yeah.
Heather and Trevor are the only two who got that correct.
I'd like to change my answer.
And the winner of this
Dang it.
round, of this whole game, is Trevor with 4,200 points. Heather comes in second with 3,100 points. Mark with 2,800. And Drew with 2,600. And James rounds it out with 2,300 points.
Hell of
Do I
a
get
comeback
a-
for Trevor.
Do I
Yeah.
get a
that
TV
was-
dinner
that was
or at least a
wild.
consolation prize to take home?
Not in this economy, son.
We'll send you, you'll get a pen. How's that a pen?
Now, if there's a tires category next, we know that Ted fed Drew all the stuff.
We have Tallboys and Trackmasters on the show. How could they possibly know more about tires than I do? It's part of the set for them.
Yes.
Well, I hope you
As
guys
long as it's
enjoyed
cheap
that.
tires, because we're broke. We don't have any money.
I was going to say, I always had a tire sponsorship, so I actually couldn't tell you a single price of those either. So
Dang. I really need your problems, Heather.
I'm sure it comes with its own set, right? It's a new
I mean, it
problem.
is coming to an end because the dealership is now closed after 48 years. So
It was a
yeah,
good
I guess
run.
yeah, it was. It was a great run.
Well, welcome to the way it is for most of us. It's hard out there. Tires got really expensive since 2020.
Right. Hope you like Shinkos, baby.
Mark is.
I love
Mark is
Shinkos.
actually. He's
Actually, I had
reviving his
Shinkos
stage
on my
name.
bike once, and I actually
Yeah.
thought they were pretty decent.
Were there some closing comments that folks may have wanted to add beyond the banter between all of us?
I mean, the MSRP category killed me a lot because I don't know. I'm a type of person too that once I have a bike, I just keep it. So I'm not continually shopping for
Yeah,
new bikes.
same.
So
Yeah. No, I can't say that.
I haven't traveled most of the U.S. and I don't really stay at Airbnbs, so I really got kneecapped on two categories.
Says the man who won.
None of those were about KTMs either, so I was screwed.
Purely by accident. One
Yeah,
purely
I'm not
by
sure.
accident.
You ain't first, you're last, baby.
Wow.
Shake and bake.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny stuff. Obviously, I appreciate everybody taking
was
the
a good
time.
time.
I hope folks enjoy that.
Yeah, cool format. I had fun.
Ted has
glad you
a backlog of lots of these episodes, and he loves digging up some of the wildest pieces there. So I want to cheers to Ted for putting this together so people
Thank
can
you.
listen.
It's all right. Very welcome. Very
Thanks,
welcome.
man.
It, you know, it takes a lot of people ask me about that, and it takes a lot of hours to put that together. There's
Oh, I'm
a
sure.
lot of research that goes into it, and you know, and of course you screw up by giving the answers with the questions, so that does happen.
Hopefully you didn't spend too long coming up with that particular question.
I no more than any of the other ones. You know, you know, it's like there's one right answer, and the rest of them are just made up.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, they're just made up. So, yeah, as long as you had fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I do have a takeaway from this is a burning desire to stay at an Airbnb flower pot.
Yeah.
100%.
Second. Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's funny
You
because
have
we
to
all.
become a Smurf for that or anything.
we all end up stat sheet racing over a lot of this stuff. So that's why I'm glad that Ted does this. I know that for the listeners' benefit, they may not all be super into listening to other people play Jeopardy, but for as much as we all debate, around the bar on the internet, what's the best bike and what's the best tire, I'm like, dude, this is awesome to really flex what you really know about motorcycles versus just, regurgitating crap with your friends over beers.
Some of the topics we used to have in the past were engine sizes. We had what company used to make this bike that they haven't produced in 50 years. Things like that.
Well, thank goodness you didn't have that tonight. So.
We've had motorcycle movie topics. We've had songs that had motorcycles in the lyrics somewhere. Topics like that. So
there's some cool categories.
There's a whole diverse world.
I'm proposing a new category if we ever do this again in the future about event marketing.
Okay.
So,
event marketing, sure.
In 1978 in Sturgis, how many people showed up?
I've done that. Oh my God, how many people attended the rally in this year and that year and stuff like that?
In what year did this event go from mail-in entries to online entries?
Are we talking about 2020?
See, now you're starting trouble is what you're doing right now. You're just starting trouble.
So
that's great stuff. Anything anybody else wants to close out with?
More categories about Batman. That's
okay. Well, I'm sure there's a bat cycle question in there somewhere.
There you
go. need some beer categories as well. Can we do
did anybody produce a? Man, Orange County Choppers produced, I think, a Coors bike once, or was it a Budweiser bike?
That sounds right either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. Either way, it's not running, and no one likes it anymore.
And nobody can afford it either.
And Jay Leno is still pissed off at him.
Totally the case. So,
in which episode did Paul Sr. pick up a chair and throw it across the room?
I gotta put a Fox sticker on the back of my truck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to do this again, by all means, let me know, and I can. I'll toughen it up.
Set that up.
I'll be sure to include something about tires. All right, and marketing. All right, beer.
Yes.
And what am I missing?
Events.
Events, right? Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
events. And,
just a whole category about orange
bikes.
and Batman. Right?
Batman. Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Anything
Thank you,
vintage.
Ted.
Anything vintage bike related would be cool in the future.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
You writing this down,
I
Ted?
have heard Ted rip some people with some Black Shadow era type stuff before. So.
Okay, so beer.
It's like
Nice.
taking note.
Strong
100%.
start to a grocery list. I like it.
Definitely that.
Batman. Tires.
No.
No. Oh,
No,
events.
tires good.
Events. Okay.
We'll
We'll do
do like a
MSRP,
year of buying her own tires before she comes back on.
and we'll do MSRP again for Heather.
Yeah.
She liked it.
Yeah. Great. Loved it.
Because Trevor liked to travel, we'll also do Airbnb.
Yes.
Yeah, it should definitely be either this RV or this trailer is for rent on various places across the country. I'm all about this.
Airbnb their site used to be different. Across the top of the page, they used to have little icons for all the different types. They had like a spaceship. They show a cave. They show a castle.
Oh, yeah.
They show all these different icons for all the different types of places you could stay in. And all you had to do is click on it, and you would see just a slew of whatever that was. Now they took that away, so now you have to search by state or country or whatever. So, needless to say, searching for these things becomes a little harder.
James, you should send him a link to the cabin we stayed in when we went and did Coalfields.
No. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
yeah.
put that evil on anybody. If you put a marble in the middle of the floor, it was going to end up outside.
That was a great.
Really?
Time. You had to stay. You had to feel through the shower pan with your feet where the floor joists were, because the subfloor was completely rotted. So you had to make sure you're standing, floor joists and floor joists, so you didn't fall through the shower pan.
Wow.
All for the low price of $9.95 a night.
It's expensive. I'm curious to see if the abandoned missile silo was actually the atomic cannon. So if you didn't pay your bill, you got shot.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild stuff. So,
Honey, they repossessed the radioactive artillery.
I just can't wait to ride to Nebraska and check out that ball of stamps.
I'm sure you look.
it beats the
most
Band-Aids all
boring- Can you
day.
imagine a more boring motorcycle ride than going to Nebraska for that?
Well, if you guys don't know, if you go to Roadside America, it's on the web. Just go Roadside America. There are roadside oddities all over the country and in Canada. And that's the idea of this, is you can just like cruise around and just like check out these things. There is some very bizarre stuff out there.
Very they told me about the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So in Chester, West Virginia, right?
Uh-oh.
No, yeah, city of Chester, West Virginia, Hancock County. There is the world's
Panhandle.
largest teapot.
Yep. Right on the Ohio River.
I don't think that you can stay in it, but
Dang.
Drew, you've probably seen these. I don't know where they are exactly, but they're I've seen them before. I just can't remember, but they're giant like corn cobs.
Yes, I've been to that place in Columbus.
They're like statues.
Yeah, it's
Corn
funny
cob.
that you mentioned that because we're talking about landmarks. There's a game that a lot of clubs play. So actually, this is something I think the listeners will appreciate. If you're looking for a place to ride, if you get on Adventure Rider, there's Moto Tag. And you can play Moto Tag in your state. You can play it in
Oh,
so
that
they have
sounds
these
cool.
different areas. It is cool because that's what happens is that somebody starts the game and they take a picture of their bike in front of, in this case, a bunch of concrete corn cobs in Columbus area-ish, or Springfield, I forget where it was. And so somebody has to look up where that is, find it, go there, take a picture of their bike in front of it, and then they have to find a new tag. Each one of the forums kind of has their own rules. So we always play, you have 24 hours. So the idea usually is you go there, you take a picture of your bike, and you post that picture so you can claim the tag that you have it. Then you have 24 hours to post a new tag of some other place. And so it moves around. And it's really competitive. Like a lot of retirees crush that on Adventure Rider here in Ohio.
can
And
imagine.
it'll move from Cincinnati to Cleveland like in minutes. It's crazy.
They used to have one in West Virginia, but someone did a tag in front of a Dollar General, and no one can find out which one.
yeah, it doesn't really narrow it down, does it?
No.
That's all that Lake Superior news recently. Somebody posted that picture of a Dollar General at the bottom of Lake Superior. it's pretty funny. So
Yeah, if you go to Airbnb, sorry, go to Roadside America, and you pick on any one of these, just go Colorado, for example, show you the map,
That's
whenever
cool.
it pops up. And then gives you all the pins of every place that you can go to. Indiana Jones Bed and Breakfast.
What? I gotta write that down. You go to bed and a giant boulder just follows you.
It's like
The Beer Can Castle. I like that.
Ooh.
there's
dude,
all kinds of
Trevor,
stupid stuff.
you got to get there, man.
James, we could build our own.
Yeah, I probably got enough in the garage
Yeah.
to do our own Airbnb right here, right now.
Did you guys want to plug your podcast before we close it out here?
All right, Motorcycle Men Podcast. Check us out. We do weekly podcasts, and usually it's interviews mostly now these days. But when I do get together with my brothers and our friend, we usually talk a lot of nonsense and crap, lighthouses and things like that. So it's Motorcycle Men Podcast. We say stupid crap so you don't have to.
I have Momentum, a motorsports podcast. The episodes release weekly on Thursdays. Interview style format with people all across the motorsports industry. And you can find it on YouTube or any podcast player.
Yeah, check out Tallboys and Trackmasters. We go live usually every other Tuesday. We have insights, interviews, and industry news. Had to layer down a lot of other really fun and exciting topics. So, live on Facebook, YouTube, and now on Spotify as well.
There's also a solid chance that we're probably holding the record for the most beers drank on any moto-related podcast.
Well, episode 100 is coming up next after this one,
boy.
so we may have something in the works along that line.
Something big.
That beer castle that you were just talking about.
We could probably
Steve
make
Bailey.
one after this show, so we'll see.
It'll be like a commemorative episode with the castle.
It's actually the final episode. It's going to be
It is.
entitled
James and Trevor die of
Tall
alcohol.
Boys and Alcohol Poisoning.
There's a West
Tallboys and
Virginia
a trip
joke
to
in
the
there.
ER.
Oh, that's funny. And then Mark and myself here on Moto Adventure Unscripted, where I guess we do some interviews, but you and I mostly, stat sheet race and debate affordable motorcycle choices. I don't know. Is that you think? What do you think the majority of our topics are, Mark?
Motorcycle stats.
The majority is me calling you a cheap ass, and the rest of it is basically what you said. Yeah, that's right.
I definitely appreciate everybody joining here for the show. Hope the listeners enjoy it. So we will catch folks down the road.
Thanks a lot, Drew. That's great.
Yeah. Thanks again. I had a great time.